I got my keg. I'm gonna go get it over to the gym. It stresses me out and it makes me hot. So it's like, it's 40 degrees out, but then I'm like getting hot. Hello and welcome back to the Fox Strength Performance YouTube channel. I am Taylor Fox and we're back in the car for another strength car talk. So I'm gonna try to do this again because the first time did not work out too well. So what happened was I was transporting a keg on Sunday night. So what I'm doing tonight is I'm heading to Powerbuild Warrington to drop this keg off. I try to do these on Sundays, but I did a lot of programming on Sunday and was really working, trying to get clients' programs updated. So pushing through that. Appreciative that you bared with me. And it was, it got pretty late. I had actually just gotten this camera that I'm filming on. So now I got Osmo Action 5, I got a Shure microphone to do some podcasting and voiceovers. And then I got the DJI mini mic. Woohoo! So I'm pretty excited, and it's kind of like leveling up with everything and like really trying to produce more quality content, and also just have a system for like how to, produce content and post it online and make things easier for myself, which I'm really excited about. I didn't know that you can just like connect the microphone directly to the camera. Kind of nice that I like stumbled into buying two DJI products and like they're very much compatible and it makes things easy. But at first I was like trying to get the receiver into the camera and I was like, this doesn't fit. Like, what's going on? Did I buy the wrong microphone? I don't know how this could have happened because, they're the same brand, so you would think that it would be fine. So sitting in my driveway, trying to figure that out, watching YouTube videos about it. And then that was settled. So I was like, now we can get to recording the video. But then because it's like nighttime, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll turn here because these back roads, there aren't as many people. I definitely don't want to have an issue with like driving around and like my light on. But hey, I do have my glasses on. Yeah, I know it's not safe. Like that's why I'm trying to do it on routes that I drive every day and I'm aware of. Also, I have the camera, so if I need to use my GPS or anything, I have some issue, that's fine. But typically, these should be like drives to the gym or drives to work, I guess. Now I've done a little bit of both, and I don't exactly know which video you'll see yet. Kind of got a little flustered there, got turned a bit around, it being late at night, a little stressed, so then I just kind of parked at this apartment complex to finish the video. But I feel like it kind of hurt the conversation, and I haven't really taken a look at the video yet, but I just feel like it was pretty clunky. Don't even know the word, sorry. I was kind of like, I need to focus on figuring out where I am and what I'm doing instead of filming a video, so I went with that, and I think it just made the whole point and the conversation I was trying to get across very poor. So we're refilming it today on my drive to work after I just coached a client, and whatever, we'll pretend it's Sunday, but I kind of removed the Sunday part from the title anyway, so it's just strength car talk, but I typically will try to record them on Sunday and post them on Monday. Obviously that didn't happen this week. So my thought was with transporting this keg and just like being like, this is kind of tough and annoying, but it's also like, it's something I'm very passionate about. Like, it's something that I really enjoy. I love tinkering around with Strongman equipment, moving it around. I mean, I've been moving it around for like the past 5 years. I love to move strength equipment around. I love to research, purchase, and acquire different pieces of strength equipment and kind of build out like what I've had. That started with a lot of Strongman stuff. During the pandemic, I needed farmer's handles that were top loaded. I couldn't do the side ones anymore. Outside, it was annoying, like trying to keep things on with the clips where I was training and not being able to like use the indoor portion of the gym at the time. And then got the yoke, used the yoke as a squat rack by purchasing J-cups. I've acquired an assortment of bars. I even won a barbell, the Buffalo bar that I have, at a competition. So that's always pretty cool and a nice memory that I have. And that's kind of been my thing. Like, I bought a custom Husafell stone from some guy in Jersey, which I had written an article about. Even like the Titan block that I kind of hate, and they obviously didn't think it was a great idea because they discontinued the product. But that's cool too. Like, I use it to, it sounds lame, but stand on to deadlift. But I also use it to carry. And I'm just really in love with and like passionate about the idea of strength and strength training, but also like the equipment side of it. And that's what I do. Like, I go into Power Build and I look at the racks. Like, I'm just like, I geek out over that stuff, like the Eleiko racks. I don't feel like people necessarily appreciate what they have. Some of these powerlifters, like when it was like I'm driving to Iron Arena back in the day to get the one Eleiko rack that they have, when it's like we have a bunch now. The barbells, the plates, like the plates down at Philly are so nice, like the new Rogue competition ones. And that's just, like, I'm in love with that part of it. Like the powerlifting equipment, I'm in love with the Strongman equipment. Like, that's really what I'm into. I love to mess around with the machines. Like, I love the bodybuilding aspect, but really, like, when we get down to it, it's powerlifting and Strongman, and that's kind of my thing. So I had a call with a prospective client, and he was very adamant about like needing a powerlifting coach. Like, he was like, I want to make sure that you have experience in powerlifting. And I was like, yeah, dude, I mean, like, I competed in powerlifting for like 10 years and I have a ton of experience. I was very successful with the 3 lifts. I also like do technically coach like people that are either powerlifters or like interested in just kind of the pursuit of the big 3 barbell lift. So like, I already have people on my roster doing that. No need to worry, like, we'll get you like on the specificity of powerlifting training. And he seemed a little bit over persistent about it. Requested, you know, CT with his inquiry, which was like he's like too busy with the 3 gym locations and not really taking on people. Plus, he wants to come to Warrington anyway, so it's like it bumped it to me. So for a while, I was like, that was kind of like driving the conversation, and it was a little much. But then I was like thinking about it with driving this keg over, and I'm like, I do really appreciate that idea. Like, he should be persistent and he should be like adamant that like, I want to make sure this is what I'm getting. Like, if I'm consulting with this coach, if I hire him, I want to make sure like I'm actually getting what I want, because there's certainly people that like might pass themselves off as like knowing what they can do to be a little more inclusive and like get more clients. Maybe that's a bodybuilding coach, maybe that's a like sports performance or general health coach who's like, yeah, I know how to train the squat, bench, and deadlift, but it's like you don't really know powerlifting and you don't know the specifics for preparing for a meet, peaking for a meet, and then actually going to the competition on meet day and doing well and like posting a good total and kind of bringing that whole package together. So I could see like it being like it goes well for maybe that first 6, maybe 8 weeks, but it's like if you're in meet prep, I feel like when you get to the peak, that's gonna kind of like not go too well, and then you're gonna fall flat on your face at the meet because you didn't have good guidance. And it's kind of like shame on that person for trying to pass that off, and it can be an easy thing to pass off for that initial period, but when you get into specificity of the actual sport, you can see where that would go wrong. So I really do understand his point and really do appreciate like that intention of this is what I want, this is what I need. And like he's mentioned like having the struggle of trying to find a powerlifting coach. So it sounds like he's run into that issue, which is like, I'm not going to go out and like try to coach like a field hockey player or a soccer player in their sport. I am trying to bring more sport athletes, like team sport athletes, into Power Build. I think that will be good for strength training. I think we can do some speed and agility on the turf, maybe some group stuff, have a little bit of fun with it. But I'm not going to then carry that out into like specific drills. Let's go to a field. We need to do training like this. Like I have done that with a football player, and maybe I understand football a little bit more than some other sports. But typically what I'm doing is bringing athletes in for general preparatory work. Like it's all GPP really in the end, and then that strength and those like other gains that they've made then get translated to the field, to the court via their specific sport practice. So then if they need help with the specific sport practice, they need to hire a coach with that experience, or like I need to outsource them to like a colleague that I may have that can accomplish that for them. Powerlifting is a niche sport. There are plenty of people though that are interested in powerlifting and want to get into it. Same thing with Strongman. Obviously not having any shortage this time of year. I can understand the thought to be like really want to fill out the roster. So you might like try to push that to get a few more people, but it doesn't work out. And like I said, like I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't want a sport coach coming in and be like, I can strength train people at our gym, and like I feel like that'll go well. So like we really try to like develop, at least from my perspective, like if you want to get into powerlifting, like you need the experience of powerlifting. Like I know a guy that like he would coach people, and so he went and did a meet, which is awesome. Like that's really what you should be doing. Or you want to do something else, so go compete in that and gain experience in it, and then you can kind of expand your knowledge and push forward from there as far as like taking on clientele in that area. I mean, obviously we see a lot of it today where people do one competition and they're like, I can be a coach now. And that's not necessarily the move either, but nobody is able to really be able to regulate that. So it is what it is. You could compete, you could do 1 or 2 meets, you could start taking on clients, but as long as you continue to expand your knowledge and like your expertise, I think that could work out in the end. Like I don't necessarily see it as all negative, because it's like you literally just keep learning. The people that are complacent, the coaches that don't want to progress, who may have a certification, who may have a degree, who may have a lot of experience, that's really more of the problem. But then they want to, expand outside their scope and take on clients that they really can't help in the way that they should be intending to. So that was my thought for the day. Now dealing with this icy rain and filming this video for a second time. I'll be at the gym, still taking on powerlifting clients, still taking on strongman clients, kind of trying to engage more with some clubs and see if like some team sport athletes want to get in and do some strength training. So if you are interested, hit me up. We kind of had our one big deal end on Sunday, but I'm sure we can still work something out for the rest of this calendar year. But until next time, keep lifting those heavy weights. Hold strong.